Alrighty, hello YouTube. The purpose of this video is to talk about multi-boxing and Brighter Shores. I know that's going to be controversial for some people. Yay, do it, don't, whatnot. I'm not worried about people saying whatever. I'm just letting you know, from my perspective, multi-boxing and Brighter Shores. So, first things first is I want to review that the third-party EULA to verify that it is okay for us to be multi-boxing in Brighter Shores. Once we know it's okay, then yes, we can go ahead and start multi-boxing in it. The game isn't even out yet, but this is something you need to review to make sure, hey, when the game releases, you know you can do it or not. Now, in order to know, you got to look at the end user agreement here, which I'll check here in a second. This next part of the video, I will show you how I plan to do that. I have multiple options. The first and foremost one is having multiple versions of Steam open. As you can see, I've got my main account here, and then I have a second account here, and then a third account here. So it's obviously an option to have 3 Steams open on your computer, but I'll cross that bridge here in a minute. And let's start with the end user agreement. So this is the end user agreement here. So if you just go to the Steam, this link right here, you click it, it opens up your window, and there it is. You can I got the URL because I opened this up in a web browser. So if I copy the URL here, paste it here, and then go down and click it again, there it is, Brighter Shores. And then it has the URL there. So that's how I have it open in a separate URL. All right. By downloading this app, you agree to the terms and conditions. You also agree to supply 40-day. Yep. Last updated 2 days ago. Who we are, what this is about, terms and condition. Read the whole document carefully. If anything is unclear, we try to make it user friendly. Please note, bold, similar to, yep. Tells you what words, app, yep, content, yep, service store, yep, okay. So they plan to put it on Google Store, Apple Store maybe in the future. Store terms, yep, okay, user, okay. How, This section tells you become legally bound by contract with us. By downloading the app, you into a legal contract with us. By accessing our website, you are bound to these terms to the extent that they are relevant. Okay. Cooling off. In short, the legal right to get out of the contract is within the first 2 weeks is unlikely to apply. You have the legal right to cancel this contract within 2 weeks of the start of the contract if you comply with the requirements of the cooling off period. Open in a new link. So we will have to review this here in a second. However, you lose the right to cancel the supply of digital content begin at the end of the cancellation period of your consent, and you agree your rights canceled in such a case because your services are based on digital content. Very unlikely. Okay. So it's telling you you've got 2 weeks to cancel and not be committed to that contract. The cool-off period only apply if they have legal right to cancel the contract as explained in the terms and conditions. Your right to cancel. You have the right to cancel the contract within 14 days. And, yep, we exercise the right to cancel. You must tell Fenry Shirts. Email address above. Email address above. There's no email address above. He might have meant below. But yeah, there's no email address above. Sorry, Andrew. Just pointing that out to you if you watch this video. Of your decision to cancel a contract, a letter sent by post or email, you may model cancel form below. May use the model cancellation form below. Cancellation form. Okay, cool. It's there. Okay. To meet the cancellation deadline, you must send the communication telling us that you want to cancel before the cancellation period ends. Effects of cancellation. If you want to cancel the contract, we will refund you all payments received from you. So if you want to cancel within 2 weeks, they will refund you, is what this is saying. The refund will be made without undue delay and no later than 14 days after we receive your notice of cancellation. Keep in mind, if you do cancel, you do have to follow the form and notify them. If you just straight up delete it from your computer, uninstall it, it's not going to be enough communication to let them know that you are terminating during the cooldown period. To refund, same means of payment. So if you pay by credit card, it'll be paid back on credit card. Pay by PayPal, it'll be done by PayPal. If he has to start performing the services during the cancellation, you must pay us a proportion to cover the services performed to the point you tell us you cancel the contract. Basically, it's telling you if you decide to cancel and you keep on playing, you could be held liable for it. So, cancellation form, complete and return the following to. So, basically, copy and paste this into the email that you want to give, the send that you want to cancel. You got to give the day that it was ordered on, name of consumer, name of address, signature. Only if the form is on noted paper. Okay. So you'll have to do some sort of contract paperwork indicating, hey, I'm canceling. All right, so that's the cancel call-off period. Doesn't apply to multi-boxing. You right to use our service. This section rights to use our service. We grant a limited, non-transferable right to service. Basically, he's saying, okay, I'm just going to start here and say I am not a lawyer. I do not actually interpret, law or anything like that. I am a quality assurance analyst for my department, and I do work for the government in some form in relating to law, but I am not a lawyer, so I'll throw that out there. Please don't take any of this as legal advice. I am not responsible for your decisions on what you do, but I am doing my best to try and let you know of what I am interpreting this as my interpretation. Just to clarify that, because that's probably something I should have said at the beginning. Anyways, going forward. Basically, they're giving us right to use their services under these terms of conditions and non-transferable. Basically, you're not allowed to transfer these services to anybody else. If I make an account, that account is mine, and the agreement is between me and them only. Then they link to here, which, oh boy. They also say it needs to go to the Steams. They also include that other software is used within their software, third-party licensing, which basically you need to be at least 13 years of old due to these third-party licensing. I'm not going to go over the third-party licensing. I know it's not going to pertain to multi-boxing, but this is just all the extra code that they use inside their software from other departments. So like they use Apache, they use Chromium, they use content library for Google Play licensing server, G3D, like all this is in Fen software, is what it is, and they are getting a license to then extend to us to use as a user. All right, now the Steam subscriber agreement. This is where things, I don't like reading Steam shenanigans. This is a lot to go through as well. This is pertaining to the subscriber agreement. There are plenty of videos online to go over this, but I know none of this goes over multi-boxing yet again. There was a recent change, I guess a couple months ago, since they changed jurisdiction, I believe, or maybe it was miscellaneous. Basically, it was definitely a win for the users in which they changed that we no longer have to go through mediation and stuff like that, and you can actually sue them. So it was a nice little change for the users. But once again, nothing related to multi-boxing, so I'm going to go ahead and skip over that for now. Standalone service. This section, promise you, subject the rest of the terms we give reasonable skill and care. Okay, changing these terms and conditions. In short, we can change these, but you have certain options if you disagree. Basically, they're letting us know, hey, yes, we can change this at any given time, but we got to let you know. We may change these terms and conditions. We give you the reasonable notice before they take effect by posting them on our website and by notifying you when you log into the game. So that's how we are going to get notified, via the website and notifying you when you log into the game. The new terms will take effect on the date shown. So they're going to give us a forewarning in which, hey, we're changing these terms and conditions. They go in effect in 10 days, 5 days, 2 days, tomorrow. They're just going to notify us. If you do not agree to the new terms and the changes are important and not intended to reflect changes to law regulation, you can delete your account and end this contract the day before the new terms take effect. So he's saying, hey, you can delete your account if you don't agree with it. But it says before the new terms take into effect, meaning he could force you to accept the new terms and conditions before you can delete your account if you do not do it before the new date they go into effect. Changes in service. In short, we change our service. Yes, we can change it anytime. We may add features, new content. We may adjust, entirely remove, and their own discretion. Best interest of the game as a whole, continuing those features is okay. So they're just saying they can change the game as they need, as I see fit. Behavior when using our service. You comply with the rules. The rules. Okay, here are the rules. This is kind of one of the things I wanted to definitely go over for the multiboxing. So nothing illegal. So first and foremost, we can't do anything illegal. Nothing offensive or toxic or threatening. Okay? Nothing inflammatory. Messages likely to make other people angry. No infringing third-party rights. Nothing adult only. No automated chat. No swearing, no harassing or bullying, no advertising, except you can advertise in-game trades, trading, so in-game related trading, not outside related stuff. So you can't advertise your Twitch stream, your YouTube channel, you can't advertise your website, be like, hey, go to malzedik.com. You can't do that in-game. No scamming, deceiving others for your own game, or maliciously harming them. So straight up, no scamming. That's a flashback to RuneScape for anybody who's played. No sharing of personal information of passwords. Okay. No asking others for personal information or passwords. No spamming, posting nonsense or the same thing over and over again. So this is just the chat rules right there. That's pretty straightforward. All right, rule 2, no cheating. No deliberate bug abuse. So if you find a bug, report it, let them know, and go forward from there. No macroing. Using third-party software to control the play or the game automatically. That includes the use of a G key macro keyboard where you got like G1, G2, where you press a single button and multiple things happen. So that's a macro. So none of that. No real-world trading. Trading in-game currency for real-world gains. So no digital to physical kind of, yeah. No using creating third-party Brighter Shore clients. So we're not allowed to make clients for Brighter Shores. Brighter Shores is you have to use the game it gives you. No using created a modified version of Brighter Shores client. No using or creating third-party Brighter Shore servers. So no reverse engineering either. No account sharing, more than one person using the same account, including leading the account to somebody to level up for you. So no account sharing. More than one person using the account, including lending the account to someone else. So if I have 5 accounts, only I can play those 5 accounts. I can't let my son play it. I can't let my mom play it. I can't let you play it. I'm not allowed to share. And that goes back to no sharing personal information and passwords, but that's under the chat section. So that's the cheating section. Okay, nothing about multiboxing, so we're good still. No billing abuse, no fraud, no trying to reverse payment as described in refunds, and no account sharing. Okay. Refunds. Refunds must be required via Steam store from which you originally made the purchase. You can make the account. If you made the purchase via Steam, use the Steam refund. The standard Steam refund. Please do not try to initiate a refund in any other way. Doing so may result in your account having a negative credit. No hacking. No unauthorized access to our servers or networks. Okay. No reverse engineering, modifying our software. Yep, we mentioned that. No attacking our servers or networks. Denial of service. Yep. No trying to access other people's accounts. Okay. No intercepting, modifying, or impeding the communications between our client and servers. No other disruption or interference with our service. So basically nothing to disrupt their services. Makes sense. If you break the rules, here are the penalties. Your account or characters being suspended, permanently disabled. Your privacy settings being locked at maximum, which prevents various interactions from other players. Privacy settings being locked at maximum. So chances are you'll probably, be like a free-to-play character, so to speak, in which you have a subscription, something like that. We'll know more later about that. Your chat being suspended or permanently disabled, so to prevent you from talking at all if you abuse chat. Segregation from other players. Interesting. So taking away, huh? Segregation from other players. That's an interesting phrase. I feel like that's targeted towards like cheaters that are hacking. Like there are some games out there that will take you into like a hacker's lounge and where you play against other hackers. So that would be kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious exactly what he means by segregation from other players. Except for, legitimate players are not going to be with illegitimate players. That's kind of my impression. A daily playtime limit being imposed. A daily playtime limit being imposed. Wow. So he can force you to be like, hey, you can only play 8 hours a today, or you can only play 1 hour today. God damn. Access to free version of the game being removed. Okay. Disqualification from the leaderboards. Okay. Trading with other players being disabled. Disqualification from PvP leagues. Hey, PvP leagues. Being required to rename your character. Basically, if you have an offensive name, they're going to change you. Ask you to change. Removal of in-game XP or items or currency, etc. World consequences. Police lawyers. Wow, I can talk. If you feel a penalty has been issued in error, you may appeal it in-game as follows. Open the game's interface. Go View Violations button. Click the row you wish to appeal. So it's going to be listed out all your violations in the game. And then there's going to be an open appeal button and you can fill out the form. So note here that if your account is permanently disabled or suspended, you will not be able to appeal it. You have to have an active account in which you can select what you're trying to appeal. So he's straight up saying if you are permanently disabled, you can't appeal it. So keep that in mind for people who break the rules and you lose your account. You won't be able to appeal it according to the rules here. All right. So that's the rules section. Let's go back here. Third-party licensing, legals, rules. All right. Behavior when using our service. We agree to the rules. If we reasonably, so there's the word reasonably, so they have evidence that you broke the rules, then you face the penalties there, but you have the right to appeal, which I just mentioned. You agree that any chat messages you filled are automatically filters, including machine learning algorithms, which attempt to block it. So there are going to be some things in place to try and block us from saying things we're not supposed to. You acknowledge that algorithms are not perfect and may fail to block some unsuitable or controversial block messages. Yeah, so basically if you put in letters instead of numbers kind of a thing, it may not block it, but it's going to learn from it and go from there. We agree that no penalties shall be applied to your account as a consequence of chat analysis algorithms without human review. So they're guaranteeing that if an algorithm does catch you saying some swear words that aren't actually swear words, that a human will review it to say, yeah, we agree that there should be some consequences, and that's why it blocked it for you. So then we'll apply a penalty. According to this, no penalties will be applied as a consequence of the chat analyst algorithm. So all human bans, no software bans, is what they're saying. We're required to tell you if you have the right to bring a claim against us for breach of contract, if any of the content is taken down or restricted, or you suspend a ban from using the service in the terms. You agree to apply. You agree to ensure contact. Yep. Yes, we agree to use your stuff. Your content. You're responsible for your content, such as the content I'm making right now. You agree that you and will keep all legal rights to enable use your content, provided comply with data protection laws. You appeal. We're entitled. Subject altered, move, delete, disclose, authorized, contain any content behavior, subject where reason to believe, breach term conditions. To protect criminal, we're not it's misused by others, mistakes. reasonable. The freaking backups of content. Okay, so they're basically saying they're not held liable if hackers breach their servers and get your name, credit card, birthday, social security, whatever they have stored on you on file, and they say you are responsible for your identity, more or less, yourself. Yep, that's pretty much what this section's talking about. And they also saying that you are responsible for what information you display to the public when using their services. So if you decide to use your real name as your username, I mean, that's not on them for your own stupidity of showing off your own name, or you decide to use your birthday as your username, whatever. They're saying we're not responsible if you decide to do that kind of stuff, and they're not responsible. Anyways, I ramble. So, nothing with multiboxing. Dealing with other illegal, harmful content. Subject to illegal, harmful content. Personal information. Stop communication with other players. So, they are telling you need to be using the report abuse button if somebody is doing something illegal or harmful in their services. And you are supposed to stop communication with the other person. So, if somebody says, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you," you need to stop. Just to clarify, not in game PvP, but real life, I'm gonna come to your house and kill you. You're supposed to stop communication with that other person and report the button in their service, and they're supposed to investigate it from there. So, if somebody threatens you, or harmful, talk about illegal activity, you're not supposed to talk to them and use the report button. You are agreeing to that service here. We're not service for chat service provided by other companies, Steam, etc. All right, here are some steps to take and necessary. So this kind of goes back to that rules section. The first thing that was listed was nothing illegal. Yeah. And they talk about the penalties, carrying out appropriate. So, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that, is dealing with users and illegal activity. Other people's services, advertising websites. In short, we aren't responsible for advertising, etc., by other people or on our service. We may display other people's services, advertising links to other websites, but we do not recommend or endorse, nor are we legally responsible for any of those. So let's say I make something that the entire Brighter Shores community loves and adores, and so does the contractors, so does Andrew, and so he decides to post it on his website. Then he's saying he's not responsible for that. All right, if you create an account on our service, in short, you are responsible for your account and you must keep it confidential. Once again, no sharing. You agree to take responsible care to keep your login information confidential, unauthorized. Yep. Secure. They may delete your assets and your entire account. We are not responsible if this occurs. So if you extend to that, we are at fault. So they're saying, excuse me, hold on. All right. So what they're saying here is that if your account gets leaked, not because of them, and you lose stuff, it's on you. However, if your account gets leaked and it's their fault, then they may do something about it. Keyword is may. But then once again, it has to be. They're at the end of the day, there's going to be evidence that it's their fault. If there's no evidence that it is their fault, then they're just going to blame it on not you. That's just the way how the world works, unfortunately. Paying us. A lot of this, nothing about multiboxing yet. This section covers your payment obligations. I'm just going to go ahead and skip over that. Virtual assets. This is going to be a long video if I just keep going over everything. Support. So virtual assets is basically all the stuff in their game. This section, ambit of support service of Black Bull. Okay, the support include support only. We do provide ended by explicit methods. Any service intended to address configuration errors. Otherwise, support do not provide. So they will provide support between 9 a.m. 5 p.m. business days in England, and they do not guarantee any particular response times. Okay. Ending or suspending this contract. This section tells you suspended, what happens, our guidance, if our service doesn't properly work. In short, we don't promise that the service will be error-free. They're saying there are going to be problems. We do not guarantee it'll be uninterruptible or error-free. We are entitled without notice and without liability to suspend services for repair, maintenance, improvements, or other technical reasons. Okay. Compatibility of the app. In short, we don't guarantee compatible with your device. We do not guarantee the words. Yep. Okay. Restrictions to our legal responsibility. Very important. Limits responsibility. Makes your contract unless we break the contract. Nothing. There's limited death. Yep. This section. Copyright. IP. Your personal information, things we can't control, acts of God, transferring this contract to someone else. We can pass this contract to someone else, but you need our permission to do likewise. So they're saying they can sell it off to Jagex if they wanted to, and they can take it over, but you need our permission to do likewise. If I want to transfer this contract to somebody else, I need their permission to do so. So let's say I want to give to my son. I need to let them know. English laws and courts. English laws and only UK courts can educate on disputes. Okay. General. Here are some general and importance. Okay. Email. So make sure your email is up to date. That's part of the login to the game. So your email is going to be part of the login. Okay. You can send notices to our email as shown below. Headings in using this agreement not binding. Overlook. It can still be person. Okay. Information English, German. So that's it. I didn't see anything about multiboxing in here. So as best as I can tell, it is fine. There are other websites to potentially keep an eye on. These are the terms and conditions like on their website, which is very similar to what I just looked over. To my knowledge, it's the exact same thing, actually. It's just been copied and pasted over. They also have, let's see, terms and conditions, which is what I just did, didn't it? Yeah. Privacy notice. Who we are and what we are. So, but this is more for their website. Once again, nothing related to multiboxing when I went through it. So what you're seeing me do here is I have this watch list. I have 10 websites currently being watched, specifically related to Brighter Shores. And what happens is I get notified whenever a change occurs. And what I mean by a change, any of these websites, literally any sort of change. So, for example, I know that for the chat rules, it was this, then it changed to this, and now it's this. So there's been 3 changes since I've implemented this. And to show you, we go to rules, I show history. So they corrected the spelling for advertise 2 days ago. So as you can see here, it is spelt with an S. And then if you see here, it's spelt with a Z. So that was a change that they made 2 days ago, October 24th. Now on October 22nd, they made another change. Let's go look at that. So from when I originally started tracking, so nothing offensive, nothing inflammatory, that got moved down and kind of rearranged. So that's what I mean by this version. So this one says nothing offensive, no inflammatory, with nothing explaining afterwards. But this one here says nothing illegal first, and nothing inflammatory is like down there. So I am keeping a close eye on any changes for any of these end user agreements and stuff like that to see if multi-boxing does get added. In addition to this, I have it set up so it goes to my Steam, or not Steam, Discord. So I have notifications. They let me know. I get a notification in Discord instantly when it happens. So like that first one I talked about with, they added no inflammatory and they changed nothing removed. So like, yeah, I have it posted on my Discord so I can track it as well. So any changes to, hey, we're no longer going to allow multi-boxing, I will know of it ASAP, kind of a thing. But it's something I'm going to, keep an eye out for. Now, how are we going to multi-box? That's the biggest question that a lot of people are going to want to know. And right here, I have this bat file. It's just a command prompt settings, basically. This is all you need in order to open multiple versions of Steam. That's how I have 3 versions of Steam open at this exact moment. This will let me play anything in their libraries for each of these games. So if I wanted them all to be playing Zera Survival right now, I could do 3 instances of Zera Survival. The caveat to that is the antivirus that Andrew may have via Fen Research. If they're using something, let's say something like Easy Anti-Cheat, I technically cannot have 3 Zeras running because Easy Anti-Cheat is used for Zera, so only 1 instance of anti-cheat can be active at any given time, and so only 1 instance of Zera can actually run on my machine due to that antivirus restriction. So if Brighter Shore has an antivirus restriction such as that in place, this will not work. You will not be able to use multiple versions of Steam on your machine. However, if whatever Brighter Shore's antivirus allows you to have multiple instances open, then this is how we'll multi-box on one machine. Once again, we can't use any macros or anything of that nature to switch between the game. You'll have to manually control each and every one of them. Personally, my fallback option from that is going to be using a remote desktop to my other machines, because I actually have multiple computers in which I have hooked up here in my house, and so I will just, remote desktop into whatever machine I want and play on it, and that's how I'm going to have access to it. There is the argument that remote desktop is a third-party software, and that is the risk that I will have to run in order to multi-box via using multiple machines. But that's how I personally plan to do it. But once again, I don't plan to do any macros because that's against the terms of services. And yeah, that's how I plan to multi-box, specifically triple box, Brighter Shores when it releases. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out. I will do my best to answer your questions and, let you know as things progress. If you want to join my Discord, you're more than welcome to. I'll put a link in the video description below. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing y'all in Brighter Shores.